Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing? First, you sure are. I know it's a little bit late for our Southeast Asian friends, but I'm trying to get in earlier. Yo, Chris. Mluvíme po polsku. We are on Twitch. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter, I think. We're on multiple Facebooks, I think. And, oh, wait a second. One of these destinations are, your account is not confirmed. Oh, we're not on Facebook. Well, that's a problem. Well, I'll work on that. I might have to restart the streaming a little bit because I know a lot of people just only look at Facebook streaming. Morning. All right, I am just looking at this Facebook issue. Because that's no good. Your account has been disabled. See, this is the biggest reason I don't stream on Facebook, because I don't even know. Like, I haven't done anything wrong there. I just stream. I post some things. Nothing even. I mean, the things that people post on Facebook nowadays, all I do is post like updates for our pages and stuff. And it's, yeah, well, and it's not even, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. But anyways, yes. Hello. Good evening on that side of the world. I am on Twitch. I'm here. I'm just doing a restream. I know Facebook sucks, but we have like 200,000 people on Facebook wanting to see streams. I don't know. One second. All right. Well, either way. All right. Anyways. Yeah. So, obviously, I've been trying to get back on and streaming more frequently for everybody, to keep you guys updated with what's going on. Sometimes there's 500 Medium articles to catch up on, and all these Discord announcements and tweets and Facebooks and everything like that. So I know there's a lot of value for just having it be heard straight from me too, a lot of times. So that is what we're doing today. So we don't have a particular agenda other than to sort of just discuss the last week's developments, talk about what's coming up this week and in the coming months, bring everybody up to speed in case you haven't clued in on some of the more recent streams or announcements or anything like that. But on a high level, yeah, sure. So, is there an echo? Can somebody confirm or deny that there is indeed an echo? Launchpad, great question. That was actually one of the first things I was going to look into myself today. I know we made a lot of developments last week. I think last week I even walked you guys through what is currently either the Figmas or what's currently deployed. I don't recall. The development is like really, really close though. There's some smart contract details that we've been working out. One of them that I think we're fairly settled on. If not, obviously, whenever I say something that's not published yet, you can wait for confirmation, but I'm happy to like give you guys at least what we're discussing. But the main idea for the Launchpad is that roughly 30% of the allocations will be stored essentially for people who are just playing Cryptoblades and have unclaimed amounts. And so the idea is that as you store up your unclaimed amounts, you can be using that to purchase and qualify for different tiers on the actual Launchpad. Two of the first projects that are going to be launched on the Launchpad, which I think many of you are aware of, but if you're not, this is a great time for you to check them out. But the first one being, actually the first one may actually be Bolstyr, which is the SocialFi product that we've been incubating and is led by our own CMO, Aaron Hutton, Crypto Sport Geek, for those of you that see him on Discord or TG. Bolstyr is I mean, in fact, maybe I can just kind of spend this time going over some of our incubation projects. So I'm happy to actually share a little bit about that. If you give me a second. All right. Let me just double check here that we're... Actually, I'm going to reshare this. Sorry. Boop. Infinite share. That's better, because then I can actually check it out on my stream and look at all your questions. Yeah, play to invest is exactly right. I mean, and I don't know that we'll necessarily call it play to invest in the sense of like from Launchpad standpoints and from token and security standpoints. We're moving into Launchpad space. We're trying to do this we're trying to do it correctly. But that's essentially what, you as the community can call it. But the idea is those of you who have been playing Cryptoblades for a long time, many of you cash out, and that's okay too. We don't have anything against people who are just cashing out to, like I said, take your grandma out to dinner or make your daily wages, collect your daily bread. All that is great. But for those of you who play the game and hold unclaimed, you're actually going to qualify for tiers that can participate in our very own Launchpad. And this Launchpad is going to be much like any other Launchpad in the sense that there's going to be highly vetted, high-quality products of all different kinds. So it's GameFi, essentially. But on top of that, we're releasing Bolstyr. Why? Because the role of influencers in GameFi is I mean, they pretty much go hand in hand. Like there is no successful GameFi product that doesn't have a successful influencer network. And so the idea is to create a crypto subscription platform for influencers. And additionally, we can do things like sell lifetime subscriptions as NFTs for these influencers who will be posting all of their exclusive content, whether it's a GameFi influencer who is sharing their personal plays with a community of kind of like super fans, or maybe it's just a standard influencer from the traditional influencer space who wants to monetize their presence and provide some really cool incentives and maybe behind the scenes access to what they do on a day-to-day basis. So for example, we were recently speaking with a music artist, very, very popular in Southeast Asia, who is, I don't think the ink has dried on the contract quite yet, but I know that we pretty much reached a deal this weekend. They're going to be a brand ambassador for Bolstyr. They're going to be posting content on Bolstyr. People can subscribe to them who are, like super fans essentially. And then they'll receive things like, like access to like studio recording sessions, or sort of like, maybe just him and a guitar kind of thing. Going like working through some new ideas. Like this is like really kind of backstage access basically. And it's whatever the content creators want it to be, much like what people see on Patreon or other sort of social media kind of subscription-based social media that you've seen before. And we're bringing in brand ambassadors totaling so far before this has even launched over 20 million followers across all of our brand ambassadors that we're signing. So it's something we're incredibly excited about. Obviously, we're going to be releasing it on our own launchpad too, so that you guys can participate in owning the token. There's going to be NFT drops for them as well. As I mentioned, the utility there is that instead of buying monthly these subscriptions, these NFTs will actually gain lifetime access to the subscription tiers. So it's kind of like you'd be able to speculate in a way on the traction or the fame and success of these influencers by buying one of these lifetime subscription NFTs. And they'll be limited run. We don't have the exact numbers yet. Let's say something like 5,000, where you just pay the minting price. And then if that influencer ends up being very popular, or if they're already popular and you gain, access to this NFT drop, then you can have or resell this lifetime subscription, which is pretty awesome. But a little bit more about the product itself. So first off, for sure, get whitelisted for this. All you have to do is fill out this very simple form. The product itself, from a content creator standpoint, if there's any content creators who are on here listening, is that there's actually 0% platform fees. So we don't take any fees for people who are posting content. In fact, it's the complete opposite. This is the world's first post to earn content creators SocialFi platform, where there's actually transaction fees on the token that get repaid back out to the people who are posting content on the platform. So every month they're going to be receiving Bolstyr token directly to their wallet simply for posting content, whether they have subscribers or not. So truly like a post to earn kind of mentality there, which is one of the ways that we expect to gain traction where other SocialFi products have not. Already went into it there. Obviously, Bolstyr.io, you can take a look. Some of the brand ambassadors that we've already signed and can publicly state is Mark Striegel from the Philippines. So he's a UFC fighter who's been, you can already see a lot of the stuff he's posting about Bolstyr. He's been an awesome brand ambassador for us so far, bringing in all different kinds of connections for us. We have Crypto FOMO, who is a influencer in the crypto space, who is interested in pushing out this type of content for sort of those crypto plays, those backstage crypto plays. And then we have Natan Levy, who from Israel, who actually recently had a fight this past weekend that he won, which is awesome. So really cool to have someone who's sort of in the prime time, just like Mark. And obviously, we kind of work on a referral system too. So it's like, wow, why we have like just UFC fighters? It's just really just because Mark was the first one we signed. Mark has been awesome about putting out different referrals to different content creators, influencers, brands. And so we expect to, and I believe Nicole Kirkland should be on here as well. So she's a really awesome influencer in the sense that she's done choreography for everyone from Prince to Iggy Azalea. She actually had her own NFT drop too, so she's somewhat knowledgeable in the crypto space. She has upwards of 2 million followers across her social media platforms. And so the idea with these brand ambassadors too is that prior to the token launch, we're going to be activating all these brand ambassadors. They're going to be talking about Bolstyr, talking about the platform, and driving a lot of hype to the launchpad that way too. So yeah, check out the site, and we have the pitch deck here as well. If you want to sort of get a deeper look at what we're actually doing, I think you can just go /Bolstyr pitch deck. So this is public. You can take a look at it. There are some things that might slightly change between now and when we officially publish this, but yeah, there's even a kind of a video of the platform itself too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, very excited about this. This is just kind of one project that we're going to be incubating and releasing. Let me actually pull up some of these questions too, as I've been sort of chit-chatting here. How about holding unclaimed on other chains? So when we do the whitelisting and when we do the allocation sizes, that's going to be unclaimed across all chains. So regardless of where the actual token ends up being minted, the unclaimed on Hiko, OEC, etc., all that will kind of go into one pool because the address when you bridge, for example, is the same address. So we can, safely assume in a way that the unclaimed across those addresses on different chains all combined for one. So basically, would it be something like Patreon, Gumroad, OnlyFans, but on a cryptocurrency platform? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And many of these platforms are very high platform fees, don't accept any crypto at all. And so we're already ahead of the curve. And one of the reasons we've been able to sign some really big brand ambassadors is because they don't want to pay 30% to the platforms of their earnings, right? They would rather pay zero. And then, of course, having some of these funds in crypto means they get to participate in the whole crypto economy, which everyone's very excited about right now. What if my unclaimed is in different wallets since I have different accounts? That's also a very good question. So one of the things that we're also working on as part of the whitelisting and KYC is that you could add multiple wallets to your KYC. That way you can actually associate all of those with yourself. There's going to be obviously some verification associated with that, but that's something that we've been looking into as well. I don't have an exact solution as far as like what exactly that will look like for those who are whitelisting on multiple accounts per their one sort of KYC. But the automated KYC solution that we have most likely could support that. And if it doesn't, obviously we're going to work through our technical support and business development teams to make sure that that's easy enough for everybody, because we want to make sure that everybody gets the allocations that they are earning through playing the game, right? And obviously we know since there's only 4 characters per account that there are people who have many accounts. That's totally legitimate use case. So will we be able to send the unclaimed from wallet to wallet? We don't have any plans to do that right now. So that's kind of just the honest answer. Is there's yeah, it's not exactly something that we want to go about as far as just putting all the unclaimed into one huge pool. We'd rather just do it through their KYC. Can you give us a glimpse of the tiers? Like tier 1 takes stake 10 skill, stake 50 skill, etc. Sort of. Let me take a quick look. And as far as development goes for the Launchpad, we're just working on the mobile version. So much of the rest of it is at least ready for testnet. So we'll keep you guys updated when it hits testnet, which should be soon. I won't give you guys an exact date, but it should be soon. Let's see. Oh, do you guys hear the music too, by the way, or no music? I just want to make sure it's not too loud, or if you don't hear music, I mean, that's honestly probably fine, because then it means I won't get this taken down. Tiers. I am just pulling up some of the initial ideas we had about the tiers. So yeah. So for example, just for those of you who don't currently participate in any launch pads, this is maybe going to be somewhat shocking, but for example, one of the top launch pads out there for a $50,000 allocation of the tokens, holding $50,000 worth of tokens, for some of the more recent launches that qualified them to purchase $260 worth of tokens. So there's a lot of reasons for that. Like, for example, there's staking rewards where they continually kind of increase the amount of tokens that these holders hold. But there's a certain cap to that point where at which point these launchpads actually become unsustainable in the sense that they're not bringing in any new users. And the other launchpads that haven't done any of these staking rewards can have more competitive rates, entry points for having more competitive entry points for the various tiers. So, for example, I think one of the, I just don't want to get the math wrong here. Check. Right, so that amounts to about a 0.05% kind of allocation size compared to the staking amount, and we're shooting for something around like 5%. So for $5,000 worth of skill tokens, you could purchase that roughly $250 worth of the public sale tokens, which the idea is that we generate enough hype that you can just rinse and repeat that skill. You don't have to sell the skill or anything. You just kind of hold that $5,000 worth of skill. That makes you money by qualifying you to put your additional funds into, let's say, $250 worth of a public sale. If we do a good job on our end, and that goes 10x on launch day, and you can recoup, let's say, a quarter of the vesting, then you're already sitting at over that initial $250 investment, and then the rest of the tokens that you purchase when they vest, that you'll be able to essentially either hold, stake. You can do whatever you want with them, but the idea is that we'd have roughly that 5% return. For the unclaimed, it's a little bit different, where 30% of the tokens that are available to be sold on the launchpad, those who have unclaimed, they will say, hey, I am entering into this. I want to get either whitelisted for it or whatever. They'll apply for the whitelisting. All the people who apply for the whitelisting will have that 30% divvied up to them based on the unclaimed that they hold. So again, this is purely from a tokenomics standpoint, really beneficial for something like multipliers, because it means, hey, I would rather hold on to my unclaimed because it's going to qualify me for these public sales where I can go get in on a 10 or 50 or 100x token on launch day. And again, people will decide, hey, it's actually better for me to just kind of do some of spend some of these fees and come back every day than it is to use the unclaimed. So again, it's kind of from a tokenomic standpoint, we're really trying to introduce some things to really drive a lot more value for the actual play to earn elements. How come we still don't have any partners on the Bazaar? It's coming along. There's part of the things with the Bazaar is that we're creating a framework where people can essentially not just like list NFT drops, but it's completely decentralized in the sense that they can create their own packages and just send them as a pull request. We review it and accept it. And then other people get to use the marketplace as sort of a white label marketplace. So yes, we could have listed partner tokens, partner NFTs on the Bazaar months ago if it meant that we were just going to, as a development team, support these, and that there wouldn't be any customization in the visuals, there wouldn't be any customization in the filters, anything like that. Instead, what we've been doing is spending time developing the framework for it, and that's fairly close to being finished. It relies on something called the API v2, which is includes our actual own NFTs, which will be now conforming to this standard. So that's been in development of the redeveloping of our own NFT APIs. And then, of course, for the new API, the new NFTs, all those partners are still there, right? Everybody still wants to get in on this NFT marketplace because we have some of the most volume of GameFi marketplaces out there due to how many people on the actual CryptoBladers platform are using them. So the eyeballs are still there. Our user base is growing week over week, month over month. And so there's not any opportunities being missed. I understand that you guys want to see some of those on there, and we're doing everything we can to make them on there, but we're doing it in a way that means we could scale to 1,000 projects, and it does no extra development time for us. And we could have thousands of different NFTs on the platform. So I just want you guys to sort of see, like, there's a quick solution, which would mean a lot more development work forever. And then there's the long-term solution, which means infinite, in a way, scalability. BSC Knighthood Partners, I believe Cryptoblades will be the next one that launches on there. And then we have some other ones that we've been talking to as well. Will Gen 1 have better earnings than Gen 2, and is gold and or silver different from skill? It's not much different from unclaimed skill, but there is not going to be a new token. I want to make that absolutely clear. We are still very skill focused, as we always have been. The Gen 1 will have better earnings because there will also be a higher entry price to buy the Gen 1s. Eventually, the Gen 1s will not be minted at all. We will receive none of the actual minting revenue from those. We'll receive some secondary sale revenue from Bazaar, etc. But because they're deflationary, the value of those will go up higher. But that's why we're also having their own pool. Because if someone spends $500 on a single Gen 1 character, they're going to want some ROI there that's, roughly, let's say, 3 to 6 months. And so the earnings will have to be significantly higher. And the reason that we're having two pools, this gold pool and the silver pool, is so that people who enter in with the Gen 2s, they don't have the Gen 1s coming in and eating up and destroying their multipliers, et cetera. It's going to be just for the Gen 2s, and it's going to be populated specifically by sales from Gen 2s, as well as sales from NFT Bridge, sales from Bazaar Marketplace, sales from revenue, from ad revenue, et cetera. So that's kind of where the pools come into play. And the gold and the silver is just so that you can sort of differentiate, because you might have a Gen 1 and a Gen 2 on the same account. So you'll want to know, how much gold do I have? How much silver do I have? And that's how you can know, like, which pool you can actually be claiming from at any point in time. OEC Treasury partners, great question. I say that a lot. It is a great question. It's a question I wish I had an answer to. I think, as you guys have probably seen, especially since the bear market, there haven't been a lot of tokens launching on OEC. But one of our initiatives right now is to actually be bringing you projects on OEC for those that we sign for NFT bridging partnerships and NFT marketplace partnerships. Because for those of you that don't know, the NFT marketplace, Bazaar, is also on all of the chains that we support. And so if we get a project that is having serious gas troubles, for example, on BNB chain, which is many, many, many projects. In fact, I've been reaching out probably endlessly to even crypto mines, right? Like, that's a project where some people think there's this animosity. But yet we are a GameFi services company. So we don't really, there's no, unless of course the project raises a lot of red flags. For that project, I see that there's a lot of issues in the sense that they're paying out a ton of rewards for one to overcome the gas fees. They can move to OEC and we can do that for them in a single day. So if any of you play that game as well as play CryptoBlades, like, you should be reaching out. We've been trying to reach out to their developers and they haven't responded back. But we could easily move them to OEC and provide liquidity for them and provide the NFT marketplace for them. They won't have to do any of that. Their users don't have to pay all of this gas, and then they can actually have a more sustainable economy. And then, of course, that would be a candidate, should they choose to want to go this route, of, hey, let's market to CryptoBlades players and let's create a multi-farm and yada, yada. So you guys kind of see how that business development pipeline works. there's a lot of projects that are in that spot right now where their token price has depreciated quite a lot because of the bear market. They need something in order to sort of boost their earnings or whatever it is, and that means moving to a lower cost chain in many cases. And so if you're, and I know you guys, many of you are involved in many other games. Just because that's what we do, right? We test things out, and sometimes we know a game's only going to last for a week, or we know a game's only going to last for a month. But some of them actually have some promise if it wasn't for being deployed on BNB chain. And we want to be there for these projects that are like, hey, we launched on BNB because of the liquidity there, but the actual gas fees are killing us. Like, we need something fast, and we can't develop it ourselves because we can't wait for months to do it. And so we have a tried and tested solution that we are actively reaching out to other projects for. And it's not to say, yeah, we reached out to CryptoMines and that's the only one we're doing. Like, that's just one example of kind of the use case. And there's many other projects, including those that are on the Knighthood program, that we are now offering this to, since it's more recently gone live for external projects. Kind of like what we did with Bazaar. This is the exact same thing. The MT bridge, we built it in a way that other projects can actually integrate into it with us, giving us sort of infinite scalability. And all of them need scale to do it, to bridge. We're not making this for other tokens. They have to buy scale to do this. And so that's also good for our economy as well. I also want to find, there's a video for Bolstyr, which actually goes over the platform itself. I want to share with you guys. If you give me a minute. Come on, I said give me a minute. Don't rush me. Oh, gosh, so annoying trying to find messages and stuff. It's killing me. Maybe one of the marketing team has it on hand. The video of Bolstyr that kind of goes over the pitch deck and goes over the application, which is really cool. But otherwise, I'll find it shortly. Found it. And I'll just kind of play this in the background too while we're going. Like, I'll give you guys the link too.
Hey,
you may not be able to hear
welcome to Bolstyr, a content creation platform with a system that is fully sustained through advertising syncs, trading fees, and industry-leading content creator incentives that are driven entirely by our native token, BOL. Bolstyr is the perfect environment for creators to connect with their fans as they provide subscription-based services, education, entertainment, you name it, all while being paid in crypto or fiat currencies. Bolstyr has been in development for over a year now and is currently in beta. To view our full pitch deck, visit bolstyr.io and click Explore More to be redirected here. Today, I'm going to show you a sneak peek of the app, starting on the homepage. This is where your posts and the posts of the accounts you are subscribed to can all be found. Users will come here for quick updates and explore new posts since their last visit. To keep all the posts you may want to view later, bookmarks are here to let you go back to that post or video you didn't have time to read or watch. You can also add lists to keep track of your favorite creator and content, or whatever else you wish to keep organized. In the subscription tab, users are able to see and manage their subscriptions. All active and inactive subscriptions are categorized accordingly, making it easy to cancel or renew any and all subscriptions. Profile is the place where all of your posts can be found. You will easily be able to check engagement through likes as well as comments on your posts. The dashboard is where top creators and trending posts will land. Users can explore the dashboard to find new and exciting people to subscribe to. In settings, users can update their profile, add account information like other cryptocurrency addresses such as their Bitcoin or Litecoin address, adjust their privacy settings for their comfort, and get notifications for new posts, subscribers, comments, and tips. Thank you so much for visiting Bolstyr. We can't wait to see you here.
So yeah, so So there you have it with Bolstyr. And no, it's not. It doesn't utilize. It doesn't utilize the unclaimed. Like it doesn't spend the unclaimed. You have to spend your BNB or BUSD much like you would with any. The idea is that you can hold on to that unclaimed in order to qualify for these tiers. Additionally, I think I saw a question about, where am I? I lost my tab now. Our own blockchain to utilize skill. So we're currently in talks with Avalanche as far as launching our own subnet, as well as BNB application sidechain. And yes, that would utilize skill as an actual on-chain token, which is pretty neat. So that would lend some additional use case for the skill token. And also in an interesting way, by earning skill token, you'd be paying your own gas fees, which is pretty cool. Overall, Bitcoin and ETH dropped by 50%. If skill would drop another 90%, the same happens to Bitcoin and ETH. This means even fights on low gas fee chains won't be profitable anymore for most players. What will you do to counter this? It's possible to be countered. Yeah, absolutely. So our model is based on, and the reason we've been permanently pushing out rewards is because we're revenue based. So what we gain from NFT bridging, what we gain from NFT sales, what we gain from Bazaar Marketplace fees, what we gain from Knighthood program, what we gain from ad revenue, that goes into buying back the rewards. If the skill token goes to $1, we just buy 4 times as many skill token and put them out. And so that's what's really cool about it being not necessarily dependent on the skill token. People were earning when the skill token was $50. People are earning now when it's $3.50. And that means people don't have to necessarily worry so much about the skill token. But additionally, what we're working on now with phase 9 is instead of having that token just, kind of sit where it is in that $5 to $10 range, let's drive that up. Let's drive that up through deflationary NFT mechanisms. Let's drive that up through inflationary prices on the actual NFTs themselves, which has been actually already tripled scale revenue, which means we get to pay out more rewards, which means more players come in, which sort of creates this nice feedback cycle of people purchasing the actual token. Once mints are no longer available on Gen 1, that means everybody has to buy the Gen 1s with actual wallet skill, which they have to purchase off exchanges. Again, that increases buy pressure. Another part of phase 9 is that we've had roughly 20 to 30 applications for incentive programs and grants on other smart chains, which goes again into buying back skill and putting that into the rewards pool. And they also will fund additional liquidity incentives and things like that. So that's another aspect of it. And trying to think if there's another really, and then of course the gas fees, as that's like the primary aspect of phase 9 is that on chains that essentially have negligible gas fees for the actual CryptoBlades contracts, we can introduce gas fees that are sort of in a way the exact same as the BNB Innovation Fund program, which provides liquidity incentives for projects. For one reason or another, they just don't respond to me anymore when I ask about it, which I was asking about basically daily, where they were giving us 3% of the rewards. They're not even giving us that now. They were going to give us 30%, but that ended up not being true. And that you guys can kind of get the idea here. Like these smart chains are just not really, unless they're willing to pay up, like we're just not going to work with them in a way. And so this is a way for us to say, look, these are the fees that we're going to be using now on our own, and we get to manage. We don't have to wait for somebody else to pay them out to us. We're going to be buying back scale with that. So as people play the game, as we have more activity, which is what we've been working on building for months, is user activity. And now, as we have more user activity, we'll be able to buy back skill with the actual fees that people are pushing in, right? So that introduces almost an inflationary, a significant inflationary price mechanism or buy pressure, not necessarily inflationary, but a buy pressure for the scale token, because we're using these fees to, and the idea too is so that, because many people ask this, and we put it out in the articles and everything like that. But for example, if you're earning, just for the sake of simplicity, if you're earning 0.1 skill right now on OEC, and we introduce, like a 25% gas fee on there, we're also going to be increasing the rewards by 25%. So it'll be 0.125, and then 25% of that goes to the OKT token, which will go back to us for buying back skill. on the exchanges, etc. So we're actually going to be increasing the amount of liquidity that we have on these exchanges too. So you don't have to constantly just be bridging your skill across in order to have the liquidity to sell like you would like to. So that's another aspect of it too. Is we're consolidating. Shouldn't say consolidating. We are distributing liquidity across all of our chains. That way, we are less reliant on actually bridging the skill tokens. So there's really a lot of aspects here that have been in the works for months and months and months. Everybody from the development team was lending ideas to it. Everyone from the marketing team was lending ideas to it, and we kind of compiled it into phase 9, which is kind of what's driving this where it is. And it's why I'm not necessarily concerned right now about the skill price, although I address it as much as I can, because those of you who are holding skill, I just want to, assure you that things are being done about it. But additionally, there's nothing necessarily to be worried about, because what we've been working on is driving a user base. I mean, what is it that brought Axie to $1 billion market cap? It's not the fact that they had X rewards or this or that. They were the first ones to get maybe, tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of users. We came shortly after that. Our initial model was not developed enough in order for us to be able to sustain, 500, over 1 million users really, but 500,000 daily active users. That's all since been redeveloped. We're now sitting at over 55,000. We've built our way back up to over 55,000 monthly active users. We're still growing and growing and growing as more and more of these popular games like Axie, like DeFi Kingdoms, etc., start to kind of lose users. We are consistently gaining them. And then finally, with our guild outreach campaign initiatives, we are partnering with multiple different NFT rental systems, so that people who own hundreds of NFTs, for example, guilds or just players, will be able to essentially have scholars, and that they can be playing CryptoBlades for them. So there's really a lot of huge things coming in our ecosystem that are going to make a significant effect on the daily active users as well as the skill price itself. Serdar, did you sell your skill? Sell to me. How much do you have? We actually are applying for Kronos Chain's grants and incentive programs. If they're willing to pay us to move to their chain, then we're going to move there. So thanks for bringing up Kronos. Will there be Gen 1 and Gen 2 weapons? I don't have a plan for it at this time. But we already kind of have different sorts of generations of those because we have the special weapons. So we kind of already do a little bit, but yeah, good question. I don't necessarily have an answer. I think what you're asking is, will they ever stop being able to be minted? I don't know. I don't think so right now. Will Gen 2 also have dynamic minting? Yes. I think there will be a place for Cyborg Swap and Cryptoblades and some partnership. Cyborg Swap, interesting. I mean, yeah, send me more information. I'm always interested in new partnerships. So do you want us to stay in BNB chain? Well, I mean, honestly, not really. It's good. We got good liquidity there. There's reasons that we're still supporting it. Obviously, we support, our players decide where they want to play, and we support them. That's the end goal. But paying out 40 or whatever it is, 20 to 30 cents on every fight is ludicrous and unnecessary at this point. So I think the idea is that we would be moving you guys over to the BNB application side chain. But again, if people still are like, nope, I'm not moving. We have many people like that, and that's okay. I think that there's a lot to be said for if we deploy to a chain, we're going to support that as long as there's players there. Obviously, we may incentivize you to move to the application side chain or something like that, but you'll never have to worry about us just being no longer supported, locked up. We've never done anything like that. Even when we had unclaimed amounts, just rising when we weren't paying out rewards and we were just doing double experience, we paid out all of that unclaimed. Everything that we've done, we tried to be as above board and transparent as possible. Staking on the alt chains. Yeah, that's a great question. It's something that we're trying to figure out what would be the benefits there. Obviously, staking is nice because it reduces sell pressure, but it also increases the amount of scale and circulation. So, and also is kind of an expense, right? We have to buy the staking. There has to be an ROI associated with us in order to push out the scale staking. So if there's some claim, or some business idea that would be beneficial for us to continue to facilitate staking on alt chains, I would be open to seeing that and discussing that. It's just not been the highest priority right now. But yes, I mean, I think it's great that people don't want to sell their skill, that they want to just earn more skill with their skill. I think that's a wonderful thing. I just don't know that it's in line with our goals of sustainability and revenue generation right now. Oh, and by the way, I mentioned as far as what we have for Bolstyr. So there's the whitelist, but also let me grab a little bit of I have to get back into it, my chats. Let's see here. I'm just double checking a couple things. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so there is, if you email, let me find the email for you. Okay, just checking a couple things. Just checking. All right, cool. All right. Yeah, that's because my phone is sideways, and I'm also getting text messages and stuff. So that's why I'm like that. Give me a minute. I just want to get there's an opportunity to get involved with Bolstyr that I want you guys all in on, and just trying to find the information on it. Or actually, marketing team, do you guys have the Bolstyr Bulls onboarding info? Yeah, so if you just email contact@bolstyr.io that you're interested in joining Bolstyr Bulls, there's a lot of incentives there, including whitelisting and things like that. And it's just for helping us get the word out on a more organic way. But I definitely want as many of you guys, if you're on stream, like, typically I know you guys are some of our most informed community members. And so just just email contact@bolstyr.io with your TG username. Let them know that you want to get involved with Bolstyr Bowls. That's all it takes, really. And the rest is will be informed to you in the TG group. But I know I'm not selling this very well, but we want you guys to be involved. And this is one way for us to make the Launchpad successful too. Like if you want to participate in the Launchpad or the IDO, or if you just want to support us, that's the best way to do it right now, is through just getting more people on board and or more organically, like pushing out this information or helping drive engagement for some of the things that we're releasing. Like, because when we do things like announce like a brand ambassador who has 5 million followers, we want that to be seen in the crypto space. Like, this is the upcoming SocialFi project that everybody should get involved in. And that's kind of the purpose of it. Thanks for pushing that out. So check out that tweet. Bolt, man, lost a lot of money in CB, man. Check out the returning players FAQ on the Discord. And obviously, we have a few hundred people here that are chiming in as well. That can kind of help get you earning. We've been pushing out rewards for a very long time now. And so there's no reason that anyone who has participated in CryptoBlades or owns CryptoBlades NFTs shouldn't be earning every single day now. That's just the bottom line. That's why we have over 55,000 monthly active users again, is because we're one of the best ROI games out there. And yeah, we had a time where the rewards were sitting in unclaimed, but we've since rectified all of that, and we even paid all of that back. So yeah, I mean, simple as that. There's a lot of information out there about how to utilize your CryptoBlades NFTs. Can't believe you haven't rugged CB yet. Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing about having a docs team, right? Like, how many projects out there don't have docs teams, and it's so easy for them just to run away with everything, right? But as I've mentioned, I'm here. I've been here since we had 100 members, and I was here when we had 1 million, and I'm here when we drop back down to 100, and I'll be here when we get back up to 1 million, right? Because this time around, we actually have a developed product. Like last summer, we released like probably 3 smart contracts, and everyone went wild, and we just got millions and millions of users, and it was like not built for that. And we reworked it, and now it's the most sustainable play to earn game in the world. And it's one of the reasons we're climbing in the rankings every single day. So yeah, I mean, that's really all I can say is, if you have CryptoBlades NFTs, those are some of the most valuable commodities in the play to earn space right now, because they're actually earning people money every single day. No, we don't need to kick anyone. I mean, if people want to say stuff, my feelings aren't hurt, because yeah, I'd rather inform someone than just kick them. Isn't that the whole point of this? I hope they didn't get kicked already. Bolt, are you still here? Or am I talking to a ghost? Oh, cool. See, the play to earn god saved him from levitate, trying to kick him but misclicking, right? That's funny. But yes, no, everybody is welcome to share anything here. This isn't one of those communities like that people can't say anything like bad about the game or whatever. It never has been. I mean, yes, like there's times where people are just like blaming other people, and that's not okay. But yeah, I mean, especially to me, I run the company, so of course I want to hear what people's concerns are. When will skill be added to the BSC Treasury? So part of this is almost experimental in the sense of one day I don't think skill will even be pushed out and producing sell pressure in that way. Obviously, I know people want to earn skill, and maybe that's the only way that we'll ever really do it, right? Is like, hey, if you want to earn skill, yes, here's the skill multi-farm. But having skill be the primary payout currency is something that we don't have to do anymore. We have partner projects, and we have other tokens and other things like that, right? So like like even with our Launchpad, like we have allocations for these Launchpad tokens that they're going to have multi-farms, right? So it's like there's a whole part of this business development process where, like that's going to be just as desirable as we continue to develop this as getting a pancake swap farm or something like that, because traction is gold, and traction is what drives buyers. So if we're the ones who have the buyers, then people are going to pay us for that traction. And that's the main idea. We don't always want to be just pushing out scale and increasing that sell pressure. And also we have phase 9 coming out where we're going to be doing all different kinds of things with the tokenomics. And so part of that is just really holding on for that, a really big bang kind of thing. Big boom. Odd how, yeah. I mean, it's a really tough market. I think nobody's really like surprised that projects are falling and dying left and right. We're doing everything we can from a business development standpoint to continue to reach out to these projects, and some of them we have already worked out like months ahead of time when their multi-farm would go live. Like Cryptoblades, for example, we've been talking to them for a very long time. They're just they're just not ready to push it out yet, because our whole goal isn't just get the money and push it out. Like we even tell other projects, if you don't have a feature, if you don't have a game ready, don't give us your tokens yet. We'll tell you when to give us your tokens, when it'll make the most benefit for you. And by serving other projects well, timing wise, it's better for everybody, because then when you guys earn the tokens and there's actually some utility or a game behind it or something that's a catalyst, and that multi-farm, our whole idea is when we get $40,000 in multi-farm tokens, that we use our entire marketing arm to be driving up hype for this project, and we turn that 40,000 into 120,000. Like that's our goal, is driving up the value of these tokens for you guys, and we make sure that when we bring in the projects that we can do that. Right now, it's just a horrible, horrible market all around, everywhere, and people are just like going crazy. So, bear with us. I know that you're here every single stream asking about BSC Knighthood projects, and it's good. And if anything, it's a reason for me to bring it up every stream, right? But yeah, so you can keep us accountable there, but just know that we are always working on it. We have an entire team that only does Knighthood projects. All right, millennials. Okay. All right, I won't go. You've been great. Okay, so yeah, Discord mods. I mean, if you've been banned from the Discord, there's re-entry points of getting. And a lot of times people think they're banned, but they've only been like kicked, like a single kick, meaning kind of like a spanking, from what I'm told. Obviously, we have many departments of the company, and sometimes people we have our business development for all of our different products. We have Knighthood program, we have NFT Bridge, we have Bazaar, we have CryptoBlades, we have CryptoBlades Kingdoms, we have Omnis, and then we have the development teams for all of those, and then we have our incubation development teams. We have over 45 employees across all of these, and we have operations, and we have all different kinds of things. And what many of our consumers use to interact with myself or with our community is Discord. And so sometimes it's like, hey, there's this problem on Discord, or there's this, it's like, shouldn't that be the number one focus? And it's not always, because that's just like 5% of what our entire company is. But, if there has been some issues with getting banned on Discord and you want to be back in and you want to participate in our community, we went through a time where people were getting banned all the time because we had people just going absolutely crazy and, making threats or doing that kind of thing. And sometimes, of course, that got overly aggressive, maybe in the banning or whatever. But our policy has been to be as accepting and not ban necessarily, but do other things like kick or sometimes suspend. But just there's other ways to get unbanned. And you can feel free to email, contact at CryptoBlades. That finance is really the one that's used mostly. But yeah, no, thanks for bringing that up. And we're always trying to improve in how we handle community situations. Been into CB since July 2021. I've enjoyed my stay. Thank you. That's awesome. Also, the entry fee for PvP BSC is a little hefty in combination with high gas fees. Our community definitely supports your project and will be creating YouTube content to cover. That said, I would love more content to share. Yeah, no, thanks for mentioning that. So we do have a new feature coming out to PvP that is already on testnet. Actually, that's like a free for all. And so when that comes out, there will be a lot more players to play against in PvP, for one. But in the meantime, if you maybe don't understand or haven't tried out like the quest system, for example, that's something that's extremely lucrative from an NFT standpoint for a lot of our players. In fact, one of the highest reputation rewards for quests is that you can actually re-roll 5-star blades. So like buying a 5-star blade for that's a horrible roll for like 1 skill off the marketplace. Take that into your quest and re-roll that, and you can make an instant couple skill profit. That's like one of the really cool things about quests. And then of course, if you also play raids, like there's optimal ways to play CryptoBlades that are more than just Palo. So if you're doing a portion of buying back new characters with your unclaimed to avoid the multiplier, if you're doing a portion of raids so that you can get dust and things like that for your quests, if you're or junk even for the quests, you can upgrade junk essentially into real items. If you're even just flipping things on Bazaar, like there's a lot of ways to earn within our ecosystem outside of just Palo combat. So, mentioning that you would love more content to share. If we're not making that clear to people, that's something that we got to work on. And just since you're here and I'm able to explain it, like there is actually a lot that you can be doing in the CryptoBlades ecosystem that can keep you busy all day long. We will push out a tweet today with an unban form, and I'll go over them one by one to check each case to unban users. Awesome. Thanks. That's from Levitate. So we can be getting more people in our community, of course. Philip, are you aware that there is NFT bridge out there already that is used by the public? I thought we'll be the first to deploy this kind of service in this field. Yeah, there have been actually for a couple different there's been a couple different NFT bridges out there that simply haven't gained traction because they don't bridge 100% of all the on-chain data. Maybe they only do the metadata, or maybe they don't have the trusted use case. Like for example, our NFT bridge has been used over 100,000 times. If people are going to choose between one and another, they're going to choose one that only costs, for example, the actual fees on ours are extremely low as well, and we pay most of them, which is something that these other projects don't do. And then we also drive the scale token usage through it, and it's only like 30 cents worth of scale right now. So obviously our product is still number one in that case. And as I mentioned, we just launched the external integration of these, and we have new documentation that we just released and we've sent out to all of our Knighthood program projects. Like all these GameFi projects that we've connected with over the past year, if they're going to choose between one and another, they're going to choose ours because they've been working with us and they see our product actually working versus something that maybe just launched. So yeah, I'm not really concerned at all. We're also not the only play to earn game, right? And yet we're one of the top in the world. And we expect that with every one of our services that we deliver. Have you thought about sponsoring esports teams from big games like Dota 2, League of Legends, CSGO to get in front of lots of eyes? Great question. Let me pull something up here. What am I doing here? They have a new name. I think it's PB. PUBG. Yeah, I don't know if they've released the rebranding yet, but yes. In fact, the only reason I didn't bring this up at first was, but this is the old logo. We are the name partner of the PUBG Mobile. It's not called Indonesian League anymore. It's called, I think it's PBGA. I think it's PUBG PMGA. No, PMBA. Let me see. PUBG Mobile Arena. No, that's fine. I don't know exactly what it's called, but yes, because they're rebranding it. That's why. But yes, we are the name partner and sponsor of really one of the largest Southeast Asian PUBG mobile tournaments in the world, and it's going to be running from May through like June or July, and probably through June. I don't know that it'll go until July. It's just, but since it's been pushed back a little bit, but the sponsorship package that we worked out includes over 60 hours of advertising and live stream content from influencers, professional esports players. We're going to be in front of over 25 million. I think last time they had over 25 million hours of Twitch live streams that were watched by viewers. So that's what you can expect, kind of, if not more, from this year's tournament, which is has gained significant traction. Where they bring amateur teams, they bring non-professional players in with professional players for the tournament, which is really cool. So that is one of the primary ways that I think we're one of the first crypto sponsors of an esports tournament ever. And so we're going to be pushing this quite hard. It's something we're incredibly excited about for sure. All right, got a couple more minutes. What are key boxes? So key boxes are something that is kind of still in the works, and it will probably have a functionality between some of the. We have a new feature coming out with CryptoBlades. It's still in the works. It's not going to be coming out for some time, but it's called Journey, and it kind of interacts with the land NFTs. But we also have obviously CryptoBlades Kingdoms coming out. There could be key boxes used there. Some of that's still in the works, but we have a lot of different. It's a very, very scarce commodity and something that we kind of like the junk, like how you guys didn't have a use for junk for a long time, and now we can actually take junk and turn that into actual items and things like that. That's kind of similar with key boxes, where you can hold on to those until the value is sort of added there with the implementations. You have 5 of them. That's awesome. That's a. You're doing good then. Yeah, you're very, very familiar with rating then. What's the next major thing we can expect to happen? Phase 9, 9.2, and 9.3, which is the fee introduction and the skill buybacks. Gen 1 will no longer be able to be minted. That'll be another one. Launchpad, that's coming up. The PUBG mobile tournament, that's going to be huge. As I mentioned, 25 million hours of live stream viewers is insanity, and we're even hoping to exceed even that. Free for all in PvP is a big one. So those are just a handful, but you can definitely look forward to all of those coming in the near future. Win League of Legends games. I know I want to, but since I haven't been able to stream very much, I don't want to just hop on and play League of Legends, right? I want to answer all your guys' questions and kind of share with you a little bit more about what we're actually working on. So, I will do some League streams, but I'll make sure that everybody is informed before I just start hopping on League. A 5-star trinket, nice. That is great. Hi, boss man. Is it possible to tell us probably 2 days in advance before phase 3 is implemented? Yeah. Actually, we'll make sure that. In fact, that's kind of what our marketing team has been attempting to do is work out a way with the development team where we can, not give like a, hey, how many days, how many weeks, but instead we make sure it's working. We test it out thoroughly, and then we plan the launch a couple of days ahead of time. So yeah, you guys will have the first info for certain. Yeah, of course. I know you'll want to stack up gas. Definitely. That makes complete sense. All right, guys, I got to get hopping off here. I know I didn't even get into Magic Connect. Looks like I have to stream again this week, so I can get into the overview of Magic Connect as well. There's been some super cool developments happening there, including a trailer and some other things. But I will be hopping off and getting back to work. There's lots to be done around here. We're very excited about the coming future, and when we're in a bear market, we're building. That's just what it is. And if you have friends who are wondering, hey, I got into Mines of Delarnia and I paid all this money and now I can't even play, or if I got into this other game and now it's not, and they're wondering why should I get into CB? The one thing that we've been telling people is bridge once, earn forever, right? So if they have only level 31s, 41s, and they try BSC and they realize, I can't play or I can't earn, they just don't realize it. We're also working on things on the development end to create something like a modal pop-up, like welcome back. Hey, we see that you're level 31, you haven't played in a while. Check out these chains where it looks like you'll be able to earn this much on OEC or this much on Polygon. And that way people can have a little bit easier time coming back. But in general, what you can be telling people is earn once, bridge once, earn forever. And yeah, we've been in operation for over a year now, which is really awesome. So anyways, thanks so much for joining, everybody. And I'm definitely gonna be making a video covering how to make combat more profitable. Awesome. Oh, heck yeah, 60 to 70 cents per 200 stamina win. Yeah, that's really great. Definitely. Yeah, share that in our video and content creation section of the Discord once you're back in, and we'll make sure. I've already followed you, so I'll make sure I'm checking up on it. But we're always happy to publish content from people who are making content for us. That's wonderful. So I'm so really glad that you're back and that you're earning and that you're leading other people to be earning. And other than that, we will be chatting again soon, everyone. So thanks for joining.